Hey guys, thanks for joining me for an episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Adventures in Zombiewood. This is a 1 to 5 player game that takes roughly half an hour to 45 minutes to play, and it is a cooperative game, so all the players are working together to win the game. So in the game itself, you are a filming crew that has decided to make a brand new zombie movie. You've picked your locations, you have your cast, you've gotten all your equipment, and you're ready to start filming. And on day one of filming, the extras show up and they turn out to be real zombies. So at this point, you decide the show must go on, you must complete this movie. Now the question is whether or not you will be able to do that before too many of your cast members and crew have been eaten by the zombies. So in the game, the players are going to be dealt cast members each turn, and they will also be dealt, collectively, there will be a number of zombies that are revealed, and the players will decide which players are going to fight which zombies. From there, the players are going to be able to use some of their scavenge cards to help boost their abilities, and the other players will be able to support them as well during their turn. From there, then the players will turn over the timer, and the players will start chucking dice, spending bullets to re-roll some of those dice, and trying to match the symbols that are on the zombies that they're facing. If the players are able to do that, then their characters will be able to move on to the next scene. If not, then the players will all be discarded and moved into the zombie horde, which will be faced at the end of the game after you've made it through your 3 locations. If the players are able to make it through 3 scenes in each location, they'll move on to the final end battle and fight the horde. And if they can defeat the horde, then the players will be the overall winners of the game. So my opinions of this game, I found it interesting so far. I enjoy dice checking games, as you guys know, and this one has that element on top of having the timed element. So you're racing against time to meet the requirements of the zombies in order to stay alive. And the game is going to progressively get harder as you move to different locations, and there'll be different cards that'll come out to increase the difficulty of the zombies. So as the game goes on, it'll become more challenging. And so there's a lot of strategy involved in that, and choosing when to use certain items or when to activate special abilities, and being able to conserve your ammunition to allow you to make rerolls later in the game, or saving up your items to use as you approach that zombie horde stage. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and I'll show you guys what this is all about. So before we get into the game itself, I want to go over a couple of changes that they're going to be making. So the first are with the scavenge cards. A lot of the cards right now that you'll see are going to have, that they're going to give you basically an additional dice. There's still going to be some of those in the deck, but they're also going to add cards that are specific and will give you specific symbols that are on the dice, such as the bat or the burst or the axe. So keep that in mind with the cards. And then the dice themselves, these are the metal upgraded dice, but the dice that you'll be getting in the basic set are going to be plastic engraved dice, just like any other board game that comes with them. These are an optional purchase if you'd like these. And there's one different change on the dice themselves right now. The blue dice shows a axe and bat. In the final version, that will be a double bat symbol instead of the axe and the bat. So from there, at the beginning of a player's turn, we have it all set up for the game ready. You shuffle up the celebrities, the scavenge cast call based on the players that are playing. So this one will only have 2 cards of 1 and 2 cards of 2, and the plot twist cards, which will make the game harder as it progresses. Then you will shuffle up the location cards and deal out 3 for your game, and you'll play through each of the 3, and you'll get a number of character cards based on the number of players. So at the beginning of a turn, the players are going to deal out 1 character card to each player, and on the character cards it's going to list the attack power that character has, so what dice they get, and if they decide to spend a star card, the cards that have the stars on them, they can activate their special ability. So from there, then we're going to go ahead and start the turn. So we're going to flip over the first casting call. And so this is a 2, so we're going to flip over the top 2 zombies. So we have a no-brainer entertainer and a prima donna dead. And so she has the special symbol that is listed on this location. So for this one, it says when a celebrity is spawned, the players must complete both the combat phase and the scavenge phase before the timer runs out. So with her, that player is going to have to complete their phases before the timer's done. So from here, then we choose which player is going to fight which zombie. So we're going to go ahead and give the little bit harder zombie to this player over here. And we will take this one here with this player. From there, then the players can choose to spend up to 2 of their scavenge cards if they want to. So our player here is going to spend, he's going to spend the shovel to get an additional blue. So he'll get 3 blue dice and 2 green dice. And there will be a lot of the times the players won't get all the dice. So like her, she would get 1 red and 3 blue, which she's out of blue at this point. So she's going to have to wait for our other player to be done. And they all have to do this before the timer runs out. So she's also going to gain, let's go ahead and get a green dice with her. Once the players have decided which cards they're going to spend and what anything else they're going to do, then they're going to be ready to start their turn. So we'll flip over the timer, and our players are going to start rolling. And the hopes is to get the symbols that they need. So we have a bat there, or the 2 explosions, and a bat. So he's completed that zombie, so she gets discarded to the discard pile, and he can pass the dice over to the other player that needs them. And then he can complete his scavenge phase, which we'll get to. So then our player over here is looking for an axe and a bat and 2 explosions. So she still needs an explosion, so she can spend one of her reloads to allow her to reroll it up to 2 dice. So we'll do that. Our other player can spend one of his reloads to allow her to reroll 1 dice. So she still didn't get the symbol, so let's go ahead and go again. No luck yet, so she can go again. Our other player over here is going to spend 1 to let her reroll 1. And no luck there, so she's going to spend her last reload to try again. All right, so she did not get it. Our other player is not going to do anything to help her. So our player is going to be zombified, and so we'll flip her over, and she's going to be added along with that zombie to the horde of zombies that the players will have to fight at the very end of the game. So then our players that passed will get to do their scavenge phase. So our player is going to roll 2 red dice that are listed for the cards and the gun. And then he can choose which one is which. So he rolled terribly and didn't get any help. But if he would have rolled a symbol, he would have either gotten a reload or a card based on what he chose. So then we would move on to the next act. So again, we would flip over the next casting card and see what happens. So again, this survivor is discarded to the discard pile. We get 2 new ones. And then we would go and choose the casting card. So again, it's another 2. And our players will get 2 new zombies. So let's go ahead. Our player over here will take this one. And she's going to take that one. And all right, so our player over here is going to spend his card to get a green dice, and same with her, she's going to spend that card to get a blue dice. So she'll get 2 blue and 3 red. And our player over here is going to get 2 green and 3 blue. From there, again, we'll flip it over and we'll start this turn. So our player over here is going to start. He gets 2 axes, which he needs there. He gets an axe and a bat for that, and 2 explosions. So he has completed his thing that he needs. And our player over here is going to go. And she's not doing too good right now. Our player's going to, even if he spends it, he's not going to get enough really to help her, because he's only going to be able to do 1 dice to, or 1 reload to reroll 1 dice. He could do that twice, but it's going to be hard for her to get 3 bats that way. So she's going to just go ahead and die. So again, these would be added to the horde that we'll have to face at the end of the game. Our survivor over here is going to get his scavenge rolls. He did a little better this time, so he's going to take 2 reloads with that one, and he will get 1 scavenge card for the other one. So he's got a candy bar, it gives him a star. And so at this point, our players would continue doing this turn after turn until they go through the casting cards. Once they do, then we would move to Act 2. So we would discard the top location, and our players would move to the next location, and we would reveal a plot twist card. So this is going to make the zombies harder. So this symbol would be added to each zombie that they face for the rest of that round. Once the players make it through that set of casting cards, so these would be reshuffled and gone through. So the players will go through 4 cards per location. And then that location would be discarded when you do the same thing for the third location and reveal the next card. So these both would be added to the zombies, so the zombies get really, really hard. And then finally, when all 3 acts are done, then any of these zombies that are in the horde will have to be dealt with. So our players would choose 2 survivors apiece if there's enough remaining. And based on the number of players is the number of times we would flip this over. So it will give you a little bit more time, and then our players would race through to try to defeat as many zombies as they can per player. We would divide these up between the players, and they would go at it and try to complete those zombies. If the players are successful in completing or defeating all the zombies, then the players have won and have successfully filmed their zombie epic. If not, then they have become part of the horde, and they will just terrorize the rest of the set until somebody else shows up to try to stop them. So I hope that gave you guys a really good idea how the game plays. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below, or drop by the Kickstarter page and drop the creator a question or line. He'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, or any questions you guys have as well. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I do appreciate you take the time to watch them. And if you like what I do, if you like these videos, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel, as it really does make a big difference for me and helps me out. And until next time, I will see you guys later.